Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me for this acrylic painting tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to paint a little bird on a wintry fence. I'm going to have some snow in the background. It's going to be pretty beginner friendly, I think. I'll be showing you step by step how to do it from start to finish. I've got my husband, Mark, with me.
Hey there, everybody.
He's man in chat for our live show, so if you've got questions, you can ask those while I'm painting. Let's get started. Alrighty, here's our reference photo. I thought it was just really adorable and simple. You know, I like kind of birds in any form. So we're going to be painting our little bird on here today. I've got a Cantone canvas panel to this time. It's pre-toned with gray. They come in pack of 3 from Fredrix. So that's what I'm using. If you don't have one of these, you can just use regular canvas and paint it gray to start with. But thank you to Fredrix, our canvas sponsor, for providing those. I've got some Princeton brushes. These are the 6100 series. Really, you could use whatever size brushes work for you. If you're using a larger canvas, you might want to size up your brushes. But I've got a few different sizes of brights from 8, 6, 4, and 2 bright, and then a number 2 and a number 1 round. In the 6100 series, and then I've got my 2 angle brushes, a 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch angle, and a number 2 round, and a 3/8 inch Willow's blender from the VelvetTouch line, Princeton. And then I've got the fan brush for splattering, and the 3/8 inch and 5/8 inch Deerfoot Stippler from their select line. So these are, thank you to Princeton, our brush sponsor.
Did you say splattering?
Yeah.
Oh,
splattering.
Yeah, baby.
Well, I mean, it's snow. We gotta. I think
that's why you're now choosing paintings.
Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of do.
No longer does it look good with the flower, but can I splatter it?
Exactly. All right, I've got my colors are titanium white, unbleached titanium. This is cadmium yellow light. You can use cadmium yellow medium if you don't have it. Yellow oxide, teal. Phthalo blue light. This is phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and carbon black. If you don't have teal, it's phthalo blue and phthalo green plus white. This is just phthalo blue, green shade plus white. So if you don't have those two colors, you can mix them up. All right, I'm going to start with the largest Deerfoot Stippler here on our background, and we're just going to put in kind of our fuzzy background. I'm going to go ahead and spritz it just twice with a little bit of water. This will help our paint, but I'm not wetting down my Deerfoot Stippler. I'm just going to get a little paint on there and scrub it in, and then I'm just going to scrub on. And the wet canvas will just kind of help it go on a little bit smoother. You can see how it's kind of blending in already. And we're just going to put in some little scrubby, nothing too distinct. So if you're seeing lines or anything, you can kind of wipe off your brush a little bit and then go back in and kind of fuzz out those edges before they dry. We're just wanting to have kind of a soft, blurry background here. Having a little bit of water on there will help. But just not too much, because otherwise it will just become kind of a soupy mess. All right, and that can happen really easily.
And we don't want a soupy mess.
No, you don't want to mess with that. All right, so here's my white back in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of burnt umber and put in some of that as well, just a little bit. I'm working very quickly so that it's blending with what's already there. And if if your paint is already dried or is drying, you can still do this. You just do it in layers, let it dry, and then continue over the top of it, and it'll blend really nicely. Even if it's dry underneath. And you may want to do several different coats on this if you're... I find that it's a little bit easier just to kind of work quickly. Gives it a little bit more natural effect if you don't overthink it too much.
So we already got a question.
Yes.
They would like to know,
Blue.
could they use a sponge to do this?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, a sponge would work really well. This is that darker gray.
Okay, could you use a screwdriver?
Don't know about that. No.
Okay, all right, well, I don't ask good questions sometimes, but I'm trying.
Okay. I'm too tired for that today. And I'm taking a dry one and I'm just kind of scrubbing over the top here.
And there's a reason for that, for me asking those questions. You know I like to mess with you when you're tired.
I know, you do. It's like he waits until I'm tired or not feeling good, and then he like pounces. He knows.
It's the most fun.
It's more fun when I'm fog-brained.
Yeah, because you don't fight back.
Okay. Let's see how you're at. Oh, man. All right, so as we get up here, I'm just going to do a little bit smaller. So I've got mine 3/8 inch now. And you could see where I kind of went back over that just a little bit. We're really not wanting anything to be too much in focus. So I'm just going to kind of tap in and scrub around these little spots up here. Back here, it's kind of like bushes maybe in the background. So you can kind of put them in with that in mind. Little leaves. Some areas darker than others. I'm going to grab some of that darker gray and just tap in some of that here and there. You can see how this kind of goes together pretty quickly.
Okay, the fans are asking for an update of the grandchild.
Oh, nice.
So have you heard anything today?
Not today, but he went to a restaurant for the first time the other day, and he was a perfect angel, which we already knew that, but he was very good. They had sent a picture of him sleeping, so they timed it just right. So he was sleeping.
So is the life of a parent. Timing your life around naps.
Yes. Oh, that's the only time I was able to paint for a long time. Nap times. When my boys were little, we would just leave the paint stuff up on the table, and we never really used our dining table for years because that was my studio, and yeah. So whenever they took naps, I'd either pass out or if I had energy, I would go and paint for a couple hours. And then, All right, so almost done here with this side, but you can kind of see what we're going for. And put a little bit more of the brighter white down here, just a little bit. Just trying to keep it soft and fuzzy. I'm going to go ahead back in here with some of this darker brown, the bigger brush. And the thing with these Deerfoot stipplers is you really do want to keep them dry, because when they get too wet, they start to get kind of soft. They're just kind of floppy. They don't work as well. All right. My arm's already getting tired. I'll give you a workout. It's so repetitive. Tapping. There we go. Good, okay. Well, it looks like I'm on track. I was hoping to get this done in 15 minutes, so looks like I'm getting close. try to keep our Tuesday night videos down to an hour if we can get them, or as close to an hour as we can get them. So, just because Mark's worked all day.
Yep, been up since 4.
Yeah.
Worked
Good
my
sport for doing this with us.
worked my 6 to 4 job.
All right, so we mixed up some more gray, light gray with the ultramarine blue and burnt umber here. I'm just going to add some back in up over here in the corner. And kind of define.
Okay, so we've got a lot of comments about possible blurriness and pixelation.
Yeah.
The painting itself is very blurry for
Right.
sure.
Right?
My stream is okay, even on my iPad.
Oh, so they're saying they're seeing stream pixelation?
Yeah, your hand may be moving a little too fast for the camera.
Really?
Yeah. But everything else is in focus, like looking at the edges and things like that.
That's weird.
Your fingers and all that. So anyways,
Huh.
you may also check, sometimes YouTube will launch your video browser in like 360p. It's been doing that to me lately on other videos, and I have to go and manually change it to like 1080 or 720 or something like that. But
Okay.
we're not showing any video issues on our side. It's not. YouTube is reporting a good signal and 0 frames dropped on our OBS, so we're good.
Okay.
And welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to the channel.
Hope we can get that worked out, or you guys can figure that out. That would
Yeah. Maybe you just need to paint in slow motion.
maybe go slower.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, that was whale. Sorry. So I hope everybody's doing great tonight. We've got a couple new people in there, at least saying that they've first time catching live. So welcome. And also to all the unusual suspects. Got a lot of long-time friends and supporters out there. So thank you for joining us tonight.
All right, I think that's good. And I think this is dry enough that I can just go ahead and do the fence on top of it. I'm not going to worry about drying it. So, yeah, welcome. We're happy to be here tonight. I've had this painting in my to-do list for a long time, so I'm excited to finally get to do it. All right, so our fence is pretty much, it's kind of splitting it down the middle, so we're not going to want to go much higher than here. And our little slats are 1, 2, 3, let me think. There's 10 total. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm just trying to kind of picture where I want to put them. So I need to, let's go ahead and just start over here. And just trying to figure out how wide I want to make them. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's our 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to use my ruler. And we're going to mix up some brown burnt umber with my unbleached titanium, and I'm using my number 8 bright here. So we're going to do a light brown underneath the blue because it's chipped and peeling and showing through. So and this one, they're kind of angled at different angles. So really the nice thing is you don't have to have them be any like perfectly straight, you know. They can be angled a little bit and it actually will kind of add to the look. So
you were just using a standard colored school chalk, correct?
yes.
Nothing special.
Nothing special.
Now I can sell some to some people for like $100 for chalk touched by Angela.
Duh.
Just, hook me up.
Yeah.
No? Okay. I'm trying to
You're
market. I'm
hilarious.
trying to market stuff here,
Okay.
And chalk just looked at by Angela will give you a discount.
Mark Anderson, stop.
Fine. You're no fun.
No, I'm not any fun today. All right. And actually that needs to come down. Okay, that's good. So there's the kind of starting point, and we're going to go up just a little bit on this one. So this one will be a little bit higher over here. And we may have to adjust this because we're going to be adding a second little section in there where it's facing us. The side piece there. Okay, that looks about right. 2, 3. Go ahead and chalk it in because otherwise I'm going to end up having to erase something. I don't want to do that.
So on a serious note, on the colored chalk, did you just buy that from a local craft store or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Sure did. Okay, that actually worked out pretty good. Okay. That'll work. Okay. Yeah, it's just regular. I don't have the package anymore, but it was just regular school chalk. So, dustless chalk is the best if you can find it, but it doesn't really matter that much. Dustless, just a little bit less powdery when you put it on. It's a little bit easier to erase, and it doesn't mix with your colors as much. So if you get an option of different kind, that's kind of what I would look for.
Good advice.
Thanks. So I'm not using my ruler, but you can if you want to. I'm just kind of using the width of the brush to sort of give me my boundaries. You can use the edge of the brush to get a straighter line. Just trying to make sure that it's pretty much even, and this really does not have to be put on any, you know, smoothly or anything like that because it's going to be.
And it's an old rustic fence too. So
right, exactly.
That look to it.
Yeah. We're going to be covering most of this up, so. Right, I'm going to do this one a little bit more angled than I draw it. This one's the one that's got our little bird on it.
So how are you doing tonight?
How am I doing tonight?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Doing better than last night. had a really bad stomach bug, throwing up, and all kinds of craziness.
Well.
So that was no fun.
Yeah.
So I'm having a lot better day today.
Good.
Yes, not feeling 100% better. But you always feel kind of tired after that, you know, at least I do. It takes me a couple of days to bounce back. So, but definitely feeling much better. Thank you. Thank you. All right. It's cute. Love it. Sorry, I have to get that out early. It's going to happen again, I'm sure.
So maybe we could sell chalk that you've signed. I'm thinking we'll have like a chalk signing at a local craft store.
Mark Anderson.
I'm just no. Okay.
Stop, please.
Okay, well.
Thank you. All right. And then this one is kind of coming up next to it. I'm going to leave a little bit of space, even though there's no space in the picture. Just space them out just a little bit. And just make it easier when you're painting this. And I mean, we don't even have to worry about the side slats because they're down low, so we're not even seeing those at all. Cute. Okay. Okay.
So we've already said hi. I'm going to say hi to all the new people or anybody who's just stumbling upon the channel. Welcome. And if you haven't already, you can hit the excuse me, subscribe button.
Yes, please.
Check out Angela's channel. She's got all kinds of tutorials. Lots of
Just
different
had
subjects.
one of our best weekend videos this weekend. We had a Rose video broke 500 viewers, so that was amazing.
The Marathon Rose.
Yeah, yeah, it's like over 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, those kind of paintings, I don't even tell the time's going by. Mark probably does, but I don't. You kind of lose track of time. At least I do when I'm in the middle of painting. So it's just kind of a lot of fun. Okay, and then this one. You can see that I'm kind of going a little bit off on these top pieces. This side will be, if you want to do your, like a line straight across, it might help. So wherever this is, here, the end of the slat, you're just, you know, if you like did a square box there, then your little, oh my gosh, cat. And then your little thing on top there. And that way you know you're getting your peak kind of right. Our cat is trying to get out now or in. She's trying to get back in. You locked her out. You're so mean.
She went out when I went to turn the air off.
I didn't mean it. I want back in. Can you hear it on camera?
Oh, yeah. You definitely can hear that. Okay.
Cashmere, she's being such a pain. She is not, like when we used to have these videos and Scooter was in the studio with us, our dog. Mm-hmm. She never did this.
Right.
She didn't care what we were doing in here. But now, we got to let her in. She's going to just keep doing that. She's getting both hands into it now. Oh, she stopped. Nope.
Okay. Keep eating.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just cleaning out my brushes here really quick.
We don't want any. Go away.
Oh, she heard you. She stopped. All right, so we could do the slats a few different ways. We could do it with a palette knife. And I may use a palette knife some. We can also do it with a brush. And I'm thinking I might do the side slats. Well, I think I'll do that second. So I'm just trying to figure out how the best way to do it is. I want to have... Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so I'm getting a brush that is a little bit smaller. This is number 6. And that way I can kind of set it down next to it and it'll have just a little bit of a space on one side. So I'm going to get that wet. And just let her in, honey, please. It's bothering me. nice. Oh, hey. What you doing? All right, so I've got burnt sienna that I've added just a little bit to the teal. I grabbed a little bit of the light blue, light phthalo blue, and a little bit of white. And I'm not really going to mix them, so you can kind of see that my brush has got a few of the different colors on there. I'm going to see if I can get it to skim on here. I want to pick one of these slats that is dry. And I'm going to start at the top, kind of at the angle, and just dab. And then lay my brush almost flat and just drag it. And see how it's breaking up there. Hopefully you're seeing that.
Okay, and real quick, the green things are yoga blocks. There's a link down below in Angela's Amazon store for those yoga blocks.
Yes.
Go get you some.
They work pretty well.
Yeah.
They're kind of a workaround. I was looking for something to kind of prop it up for video.
We're not sure how they work for yoga, but they work for painting.
Right, exactly. All right, grabbing some phthalo blue, going with a little bit more of a blue here. We'll just go over the top.
Are you dry brushing?
Yeah, I'm skimming it. Let's try it with a palette knife here. Let's go ahead and try this next one with the palette knife. So I'll scrape up some of this blue and a little bit of the teal there. And just kind of press it down so it's sort of flat on there. That works pretty well. This will get you, using this or like using a credit card will get you a little bit more of a broken look, obviously, than that first one. I'm going to put a little bit more of the color on here, just a little contrasting color with that palette knife. See if I can get some up in there. So I kind of like a little bit of both, so I think I'm going to go over this with like a little bit of the brushed on, because it's kind of not getting all the way down in those cracks there. I got a little bit outside the line there. Okay. Just using a wet rag there to get a little bit of that off where I got a little outside the line. Okay. Mix up some of the phthalo blue with the burnt sienna to make that teal, dark teal color. And use a little bit of water or a little bit of white to get some of that. And then I'm going to use my smaller brush, which is the number 2. Let me see how this looks. I might need a little bit darker. So just go on one side of it with a little bit of a dark shadow. I think what I'm going to do, now that I'm seeing this, I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the whole slat and then shadow on top of it later. So I think that that'll be the easier way of doing it. I was just testing it there to see which I liked, but I think I'll just do the whole slat with the color lighter color and then just go back in with that darker color afterwards and shadow it. Some of it's going to have a little bit lighter, so I'm going to put a little bit of the Unbleached Titanium in there. Just add that to all of them really quickly. A little bit of this Unbleached Titanium lighter color. I'm just scraping with the palette knife. The nice thing about this is you really can't, there's not a, since it's so weathered and beaten up and everything, there's really not a whole lot that you can do to mess it up. It's pretty easy, very beginner friendly, I think. If you did my fence we did last year, we did a fence with, it was a gate really, with climbing vines all over it. This would be similar technique to that. So oh, hit my water. All right. Good. Let's go ahead and get some brown. And just put some darker brown in there too. Just a few little spots. These are just barely going to show through, so most of this is going to be covered up by the blue, but just want a little bit of extra something. And we could have really put in, you know, multiple colors as we put in. Like I put that brown in solid for the background wood, but I could have put this in, you know, if I thought about it. We could have put streaks of blue, the darker color in there. That would have done the same thing.
Okay, so if they don't have palette knives, they can use brushes like you showed on the first.
Yeah, you can use a brush, or you can use
a little credit card.
A credit card, you know, a little
up.
piece of credit card. Let me get my piece of credit card that's the right size here. We'll use that and show you. So this one's about the right size here.
And if anybody's keeping score, yes, I'm covered in cat hair right now.
All right, so getting that teal colors, just all of my blues. And I'm just going to scrape down. It really works almost exactly the same as the palette knife. Just doesn't have a handle, so you're going to have to get in there and fit it. And I think this one was working pretty well for me, so I think I'm going to go back to this one here, because it's a little bit smaller than that piece of credit card there. A little bit more control with it.
So they don't have to be credit cards. They can be old gift cards.
Yeah.
Any hard plastic kind of card.
Yeah.
Thingamabob that you have.
Right. Widening that out a little bit right there. Okay.
Yeah, because we're not encouraging anybody to go out and get credit cards so they can paint. Maybe buy painting supplies. Not.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just it's hard plastic piece of plastic. You use cardboard. I've used cardboard before too, so it really does not matter at all. I'm just using that brush to kind of clean up those edges and make sure that I get kind of paint smushed out around some of these other areas. If I've kind of too much of a gap, this will help us get it. And the whole idea is just to kind of get a pretty random effect. So using a light touch really helps. The palette knife is loaded fairly thickly, but then as I'm applying it, I'm not pressing down very hard. It's just skimming. And using a more textured canvas will help too, because it'll catch on the texture of the canvas. So, or you could even do, I considered using weathered wood or a crackle paste of some sort, and that would be really cool too. So what you would do is, after this step, you would put down your crackle paste, and then you would put your blue on top after the crackle paste is dried. It just takes a while for that crackle paste to dry, so it's not conducive to using on the live shows, but one of these days I'll have to do one ahead of time, and then I'll have it ready. I'll show you how to apply it, and then have one already dry ready to go, and we can try it for something like this. I didn't even think about it until like 5 minutes before the show, or I would have done it. I was like, oh, I forgot I had that up there. I've had that crackle paste up there for a while.
They asked a question, I think it's pertaining to your palette knives. Yep. What brand do you use? This is
Fredrix. This is the Fredrix 7074. And then I have, this one is the 7060 Fredrix. And they sent me a bunch of their palette knives. The ones that are similar on the Brush Guys list, there was one on my Brush Guys list. This is the one is similar to the small one, and it's the, I can't even tell what it is now anymore. 856 maybe? I can't tell. So, but yeah, the
Fredrix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what kind of tips would you have if they were doing this on a canvas rather than a canvas board?
I would put something sturdy underneath. So if you've got a canvas, this kind of technique is difficult on canvas because it's too flexible. The canvas, when you press down, the canvas just flexes. It doesn't allow you to really press with your palette knife. So using a book or some other support underneath your canvas will help give it some structure underneath when you're doing this.
Okay, something that would fit it like between the wood frame.
Yeah, just okay. Something that's the same size as that gap underneath your canvas. The only thing is that you're going to have that wood section, where your canvas is, and there's almost no way that I found, except for to very, very lightly skim over those parts, because if you press down too hard, you're just going to end up having a line along all of your boards where that underside of your canvas is, because it's just going to show through. So that is pretty normal. I mean, it's really nothing you can do about that. I'm going to grab some of this lighter color, and I'm just going to skim over the top. of this and trying to fill in some of these gaps because it's kind of going on a little bit patchier than I want it to be. I want some of that brown showing through, but not as much as is showing through right now. So I'm just going to go in here with this and kind of lightly.
So everybody can add as much or little as they want.
Right.
To get the effect that they're happy with.
Exactly. Yeah.
They don't have to be all matchy to Angela.
No, and it won't, especially something this random. You're not going to be able to get it exactly. If I did this 3 times, they would all be different, you know, because they're all just going to catch in different places on my canvas or whatever. You know, I could get them similar, but they wouldn't be exactly the same, so. I'm going with the brush here because it's just a little bit faster, and then I'll skim over it again with the palette knife here in a minute. And the shading's going to add a lot to this because right now it's looking very one-dimensional. You know, it's kind of very flat and not a lot of depth. Or I should say two-dimensional, right? All right. So you can see the difference kind of with the ones with the brushes and then the ones with the palette knives. There's a little bit more texture there. And we'll go ahead and put some of that back on. Just scrape on some. Yeah, that's working a little bit better, I think. It's going faster too. Put that paint on first and then scrub the contrasting paint over the top.
It's a really cool effect.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun. This kind of painting has just really, I love doing this kind of textured stuff. The palette knife is really fun to work with. It's very unpredictable, so you kind of really don't know what it's going to do. So it's kind of, every painting is very unique. Okay, so let's let that kind of set and dry before we try to put any other shading and things on it. We need to let those thick parts of the paint set up, but that was looking really good. And here's where I think I might go back in, maybe using the Willow's blender with some white and or your Deerfoot, whatever you want to use, and just define. Whoa, got a little blue in there. Mm-hmm. That's all right. My white had blue in it, so but that actually doesn't bother me too much. Let me take some of that off though. Okay. There we go. And just go back in here, and this is a little bit smaller, a little bit more, because it's kind of the shape that it is. Gives you a little bit more control. And so I can kind of go back in and shape out some of these spots on our trees back here. Add a little bit more detail if I want to. Although I don't know if I want it quite that obvious. Okay. Just adding a little pop of brighter color in a couple spots. Okay. All right, that's good. And there's also some looks like almost sticks and things back here. Could, if you wanted to, kind of go in with some scraping lines. Go a little bit bigger. There we go. Just a few. Wipe that down so that it's not so obvious. That's up to you. Totally random, but I saw a little bit of that in there, so go ahead and clean these brushes out a little bit. I can set them aside while we work on our bird. So I'm going to get my pencil here. Our bird is on our 4th slat, and his little legs are coming this way. There. And then his body. Just like a little round. I want to zoom in here, honey, so they can see what I'm drawing. Here. There we go. Okay, so leg, body. And the body's coming forward more than it's going back, so kind of goes almost straight up from the back here, curves up, and then rounds out this way a little bit farther out. And you can make them really as big as you want, but the tail comes out I'm at a straight angle from the head. And there's the head right there. And then the back angles down, and then the wing kind of goes over the top of the back, and then the tail comes out. And the tail is generally, on birds now, he's kind of turned away from us, but on birds it's generally about the same length as from the neck to the end of the rump here. So that length is going to be about equal to this length right here. Here to here. Okay. A little rounded. Like this, and then there is a triangle here that cuts off the head, and then a line that kind of comes up straight through the head right there, and that's where the beak comes out. And the eyes right here, right smack dab in the middle of that line. And there, okay, then there's the wing detail that comes down. There's a little stripey right here. Okay. I'm going to use my paper towel and just kind of wipe off the little extra. This is a watercolor pencil or a water-soluble pencil, so any of my lines that I don't like, I can just kind of wipe off. There we go. All right, so let's fill in our little bird here. I'm going to get my number 2 round and and some yellow oxide, a little bit of the unbleached titanium. And let me see what color that is under there. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of that yellow.
Got a question about bird drawing.
Yes.
They would like to know if they drew the bird from face on,
Yes.
straight on, would the beak look like a dot?
It looks more like a triangle usually. Usually when you're doing a bird face on, you know, there's the head. You're just going to see the eyes off to the side usually. And then the beak usually does like this diamond shape like that. Wing, wing, feet, feet. Like that. So the beak usually kind of looks like a diamond. Did I say triangle? I meant diamond, sorry.
Okay.
Like that, usually. And then there's the split is like right in here, something. So you see a little bit from below and from a little bit from above, like that.
And the mustache would go above the beak? Between the eyes?
Right in here, probably.
Okay. All right, so that's
Right.
mustache goes, okay. And goatee would kind of go below.
Right, right. Yes. I know.
Hey, you should have made a better choice 30 years ago than to marry me. That's all I'm saying.
Ow, don't make me laugh. My sides hurt. I won't even, that's TMI.
I mean, they did ask you.
Threw out my back.
Being sick.
Being sick.
But I distinctly remember the pastor asking, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And you're like, "Yeah, I do. I do." And so,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have you to blame.
Am I sure you want to do this? What?
Yeah, getting married to me and putting up with this.
I thought you were talking about painting.
You know, in sickness and puns, till death do you part.
Yeah.
And you said, "I do."
Right.
I said, "Okay, dokie." Game on. Challenge accepted.
Okay. There we go. I mixed a little bit of black with my yellow. You can see what makes this kind of a green color there. I'm going to use that there. I'm going to use some on the top of the head here. Coming down for the wings. And the tail. Go a little bit darker.
We got a question.
Yes.
About your biggest, or who is your biggest inspiration? Do you have like an artist or other than me that's your biggest inspiration? But no, that's a real question.
Yeah, I mean, well, in when I first started getting serious about art, I studied Van Gogh a lot, and he was, it's funny because my style is nothing like his, but I really was fascinated by his art. And then Georgia O'Keeffe, which you can see her influences in my large flower series, although she worked in watercolors mostly, so I didn't really, and some oil, so really don't think my style is exactly the same as her, but I did like her subject matter, and I probably the same with Van Gogh's subject matter too. You know, he did a lot of vases and things. You know, he did different kinds of stuff, but his landscapes and just his sense of composition and stuff I really liked. And then Norman Rockwell. which we've gotten to see some of his stuff. Andy Warhol was another big one, like some of his, not his sculptures so much as his print series. I just love his sense of color. And then Audubon with all of his birds, you know, that he did. This is black here. Just going to tap it on so that it goes on kind of fuzzy-like. Yeah, you know, we have some of his prints in our house. I really like his art. Which you can also see his influence, I think, pretty heavily in some of the choices that I make in my subject matter. And I think that style-wise, I'm probably closer to Norman Rockwell style of painting, you know, that kind of painterly realism that I really like. And then there's a lot of, you know, we collect some, you know, modern art in our house that, you know, we can, when we can afford it. So, trying to think of the name of
That one lady, Tiffany
Calder.
From Australia.
Like her art. We've got one of her paintings in our house. What's the name of that lady there? I can't think of her name right now. She did the butterflies. It's not on, it's on there. I think it's on the back. The new one that we got in the Jessica Franks. She's really good. So yeah, there's just, I don't know. I like all kinds of different stuff. That was white in there, by the way. I'm talking about art and not telling you what I'm painting. There. So let's grab a little, I'm going to grab
and do we know what kind of
smaller brush here. This is the number 2 round, the Select. The number 2 with the Select is a lot different from the number 2 with the, you know, you can see the difference there. Maybe. Yeah. What were you thinking?
They were wondering what kind of bird this was.
This is, it looks like a goldfinch.
It's a goldfinch?
I think, maybe.
Chickadee?
No. It might be one of those European birds. I think it's got that little bit of blue in it. So we did one for our International Bird Series. And I can't remember what the name of it was.
Is it a finch? Somebody said a finch.
No, I think it's a blue tit bird because we did.
Oh yeah,
we did
I do remember
the
that.
other painting.
Yeah.
With the cherry blossoms.
The bird
last
series.
Year.
Yeah.
Well, we did it on the International Bird Series, and then we also did him on the cherry blossoms that we did last year too. The bonus video, if you can find it, I'll show it. We can show it. It's on a long canvas, one of the long thin canvases. Mixing up some gray here, so I put the beak in with black.
There's only 300 paintings to go through, so.
Yeah, it'll be a while over there. Sorry, hon. And then I'm going to use this gray to kind of outline the eye very carefully if I can. It's really not very visible in our picture, but I just wanted a little bit of indication that it's there. It's going to be one of the long ones. So there's not that many of those.
Long.
Yes. The long ones,
okay,
they're,
you can keep saying it.
They're 6 inch by 12 inch or something like that. Or
this size?
It's right there. I can see it from here. It's hanging. It's right there on the side. Up on top. It's in that stack there, honey.
Keep it.
Oh my God. Trying to get him to find something is so.
Here, I'll pay once you come get it.
Okay, that's all right. He's like, okay, little tiny bit of white there. A little highlight on the beak.
You said you can see it?
Can see the side of it. It's teal right there. Right? No.
Here?
Right up. Yeah. Right next to that.
This right
here?
Okay. All right. Here you go.
Okay, well, it should be in there, right there.
All right. I'm with you.
That one. God, they're so frustrating sometimes. So I think it's this guy, but I think it's in the winter time. You know, I think it's his winter colors. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same kind of bird. So there's our, well, okay, if it was zoomed out more, you could see the whole thing, but I'm not happy with you right now. I love you too. I mean, I'm seriously, he's pointing right at it. I'm like, it's right there. And he like pulls out 5 other paintings instead of the one that I'm like telling him it's right there. He's like, okay, here it is.
I said, this one? You said, yep. So I pulled it out. It was a painting of the wave. So
okay. Yeah. And where was this one?
Right next to it.
Uh-huh. Oh my God.
Yes, people. This is us. Just, I'm sorry. I understand if you don't want to subscribe, but
I'm not on my best behavior tonight, you know. You know better than to do that to me. Okay, I got Ultramarine Blue here.
Somebody asked in chat, why are all men like that?
Seriously. Oh my gosh, that was painful. All right, grab some of this greenish color here, a little bit of the blue, like a lighter version. I'm just going to put some streaks over in here in these wings. I'm not putting a lot of detail in him, obviously, because there, he's a little guy. You're not really seeing a whole lot of detail, but I'm going to grab some of the cadmium yellow and some white, and I'm going to make kind of a light version. I'm just going to tap in some of that on his breast here and kind of over the top to add some little highlighted feathers. There we go.
It doesn't like that.
No, doesn't want to go that close. Okay. Just black hair. I went way too dark on the back of the head, so I'm going to grab some of this cadmium yellow light, mix it with that green that we mixed for the back. See if I can get this a little bit lighter back here. There we go. What are they laughing at?
Somebody wants to know, okay, who asked what kind of bird it is that almost caused a divorce?
Well, it's going to take a lot more than that.
Yeah, again.
This is normal.
She's used to it after 30 years. So 33 years.
If it's not like right in front, and even if it is, sometimes it's still...
It's like, I can't reach it.
It's literally right in front of you. Oh,
I'm doing my kind proud.
I love you, honey.
I'm doing it for all mandom.
Mandom.
So there you go.
Yeah, okay. Going with some white down here, the back, a little bit of white, and I think we're done with him. He's looking pretty good. I'm gonna leave him as is. You can zoom out there, if you would. Thank you.
Where's the zoom button? Zero acknowledgement.
Don't make me laugh. Oh, my sides hurt.
I hope people don't like to laugh
Such
because
a big baby.
they're not going to like this show at all.
What?
People who don't like to laugh are going to leave so many bad comments.
Comments about the show. I know. Oh, and I always get in trouble for being mean to you, so I'm really going to get in trouble for tonight. Well, I was very mean to you.
I need the sympathy vote.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not my fault. I'm a man.
Okay. All right, I'm going in with, I mixed up some of that darker teal with the phthalo blue and burnt sienna. I've got a little bit of burnt umber over here on this side too. I'm just going to go in here and add the top here. There's snow, so there's like a shadow right there. And then there is the side of the slat that we're seeing right there. So we're just using that number 2 brush, number 2 bright, to put in the shadow all the way down. What? Did we get more comments?
Somebody said that that they painted the bird so well that their cat started attacking the screen. And then somebody's like, okay, after all that, what kind of bird is it?
I think it's the winter. I'm almost 100% sure it's the winter version of this bird here, the blue tit. And they're, I think, a European bird.
Yeah, I think when we did that painting, we discovered they were more like England and that kind
Europe.
of area.
Mm-hmm.
Europe, yep.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Hashtag real life.
Okay, no, people in chat. It's not an eagle. It's not a hawk.
Speaking of hawks, we just saw one try to get our birds the other day.
God.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we had, probably about 30, 40
easily
birds
30,
out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they were having a party out there just enjoying the food. And out of nowhere, this hawk just comes swooping in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was like a second
fast.
before all the birds like scattered. And I'm like, huh. And then here comes that hawk. I mean, he was screaming through there. And he chased a bird for a little bit, but he didn't get him. He got away. But yeah, he was coming in from high.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere he had.
Yeah, we've seen them
diving
actually
down.
get one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen him get one twice. Mm-hmm. Once when you were watching with me, and once with Spencer.
It's kind of like a buffet, I guess.
It is. It's kind of an all-you-can-eat. It's like
All you can catch buffet.
exactly all you can catch. Yeah, this seems needs to go down here. This side is. Okay. So now I'm just going to go back in and kind of highlight right at the top of that bend right there. Oh, listen to her. She's back. There we go. And a little bit of shadow to these slats. She's chirping. It's Mark. Okay, so just shadowing kind of the top area there and down one side. And then using some of that brown. Kind of add some of that back in if needed. Just using some of the dark kind of along the edges of some of these to define the boards a little bit, but the front side is mostly light.
Okay, they would like to know, does the dark shadow define the post direction?
Yeah, I mean it turns it towards us.
Okay.
So
Defines the angle in which you're seeing it.
right. Yeah. Adding a little more detail. Grab some of the palette knife here and add a little bit more palette knife to this one. I would say this area here is kind of our focal point, so I'd make sure that I pay more attention to these ones and make sure they're looking really good. Come on. There we go.
So if anybody's new and just stumbled upon the channel, we'd
We're
like
sorry.
to invite we'd like to invite them to subscribe, of course, and check out the channel. And then if you click the show more down below the video, there's a list of the paints that Angela's using and the materials, and also links to like the brush guys to buy brushes that Angela uses in the show, and also Amazon for like the yoga blocks and other things, like the Gray Matters palette that she uses for her paints there, and also links to social media, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're on Instagram a lot, you definitely, I think that's a good way to get the reference photos, because I usually post the reference photos ahead of time. So if you're going to be, the only other place that I post them is on Patreon usually. They go to Facebook from there,
And if people share this in their social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, tag Angela in there and let everybody know the fun that we're having.
Yeah. Fun.
I was wondering if
Some
somebody
nights
catch
more
that.
than others.
Yeah. There's air quotes. Fun.
Fun. Oh, goodness.
I'm sorry, I have a cat over here just rubbing everything. So it's hard for me to, I'm talking to the microphone, she's rubbing on my face and the microphone.
She's rubbing on the microphone itself.
Yes. My glasses.
Cashmere, leave Daddy alone. I'm putting in some little lines with the edge of my brush too, like wood grain. I've done a few of these. All right. Getting pretty close here. Almost done. So yeah, I will grab some of the burnt umber and just kind of go in here with the edge of my brush and just put in some random lines into my boards. These ones are kind of going sideways a little bit. There's a kind of a knot in this board, so I'm just going to kind of randomly dab a couple dark spots and tap around it a little bit. Adding a little bit more detail. This contrast will really make a big difference. Okay. A little bit. I'm going to grab some of that lighter color and do some of that in a couple places. This is teal here. I'm going in the shadow area here and adding a little bit of detail to that. All right, I think that's pretty good. Add a little bit of this unbleached titanium. On a few of the boards. There's some highlight spots. Okay. Alright, let's put on our snow. I'm going to grab I think I'll go ahead and use the Willow's blender here and make up some of the gray, the brown and burnt umber and ultramarine blue. Grab some white, mix that in. So this is that gray that was kind of in the background down in here. Some places. I'm going to put that on first. Might even go a little bit darker.
All right, I think it's that time of the show to discuss traceables and Patreon.
Yes.
So, if people are interested, Angela offers traceables on Patreon. There you go. No.
Mm-hmm.
So after the show, Angela will digitally trace this painting and then post it in Patreon. And the link is shown there, the patreon.com/AngelaFineArt. And it's at the $1 level a month. And you get access to all of the traceables that she has, as many downloads as you want for that $1.
Yes.
But then this weekend, this Sunday, I've been told I'm going to be working.
Yes, you will.
We got the monthly bonus video for the Patreon supporters at the $5 level. And so the $5 level, you get the traceables and then also this bonus video. And we're going to be painting a lighthouse.
Yes.
And when I say we, I mean Angela.
Oops. Here it is. So we'll be painting on Sunday.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Very cool.
I switched to a number 1/4 inch Willow's blender here, so to do these snow.
Do the snow effect.
Yeah.
And then there's a $10 level also of Patreon, which gets you all that, and then access to a special private Facebook group.
Yes.
Where Angela does another tutorial in there. Usually takes the 4 weeks, a little bit each week. Yeah. And a little bit more in depth. And then there's polls that you can vote on what the bonus videos will be and so forth.
The bonus video.
Yep. So check it out. It's a way to support the channel. And we really appreciate the support. Has been just overwhelming.
It's been amazing.
And the love and support you guys have been given. So thank you so much.
All right, so just tapping off here, just trying to get a little. And I've noticed that you may want to make sure that you go dark enough back here behind this snow, just so that it shows up, because some of these are not showing up all that well. So what I can do is kind of go up and put some color kind of behind it up in that background. Just so that it shows up a little bit better. And just leaving just a little bit of that dark color underneath. Showing through the snow there. Just a little bit of contrast. Some of these are kind of losing their shape completely. I think I went too far down on that one. That's not in the picture, but I just want a little bit more over there. Kind of goes across the top a little bit and then just down that one flat side. Okay. You kind of do this pointy thing, so make sure your snow is coming up to a point. That will reinforce that pointy edge of our fence post there. And then if you didn't get it dark enough underneath, you can go back in with your burnt umber or teal blue colors, and just go back in here and darken up underneath your snow line if needed. I think we got ours pretty good, but what are you laughing at?
So somebody has said that they collect lighthouses. They're excited. And I said they must have a big house. And then somebody said it reminded them of the Saturday Night Live skit with Gilda Radner and Save the Whales. She was wondering where to put them because they were too big for the bathtub.
I don't remember that one. I'll have to go look that up.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. That's great. She was hilarious. Okay, I'm going back in there and just darkening up with a little bit of a shadow there. A little bit of a wash of the darker color right behind. That post there so that I can see its definition a little bit better. And if you do that, I think that as long as you kind of leave your background here a little bit darker than I did, you should be okay. I just went a little too dark or too bright down low here, close to the top of my fence. And just make sure you kind of, if you do go back in and add any of that, just blend it in really well. I'm going to get a little bit of that white. Tap that back in. Over the top. That should show up a little bit better now. Okay. Cute. Let's splatter and we'll be done. Grab some of the white. And you need to water it down really well. Using my fan brush here. Should be kind of the consistency of milk. You should be able to see through the palette when you scrub through like this. And I just you hold one hand and tap with the other. Hold really firm with this hand and just point it horizontal to the, or perpendicular to the page. No, horizontal. Yeah, perpendicular. Parallel, that's the word I was looking for. Parallel to the canvas, and that way it's going to go where you're hitting it. So my force is going down towards the canvas. It's going to splatter that direction. You can use your thumb on a toothbrush too. A toothbrush works really well for this. Okay, there we go. Cute little bird on the fence. I like it. Turned out fun.
Very cute.
I'm going to use my pen here to sign it really quick. And I'm just going to sign up this way today on the slat.
So no disco lights or cowbell or anything tonight.
That's okay.
So
We had a huge...
I know. Huge support on
huge
Saturday.
support on Saturday.
Incredible. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you try it. And if you do, you can share it with me on my social media. And we'll be back on Saturday with another video. We've got a wave. Yeah, it should be fun.
It's really cool looking.
Yeah, it was voted on in my group. I've got a bunch of my new videos already scheduled. So if you want to check those out and see what we've got coming up, you can click on my name or my photo in the description or down below the video, and it'll take you straight to my homepage where you can see all the old videos and all of the upcoming new ones. And I've got a Valentine's playlist up right now featured. So
nice.
If you're looking for Valentine's-y stuff, we've got a lot coming up this month, but we've got a bunch from last year too. So all kinds of fun stuff.
And the bonus video on Sunday.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Be a lot of fun. Busy week, but hopefully Mark will be nicer to me on. I'll be in a better mood.
We'll see. We'll see about that. I don't know.
Thanks, guys, for watching with us. We'll see you next time. Bye.